Hey, Gold Diggers, let's talk promotions here at Gold Table Talk. Join us every Monday at 7:30 for Gold Table Talk. Be a part of the conversation. Go out and listen to 2020 Radical Gold Digger podcast and be inspired. Our guest today is President CEO Kim Corley. She is going to share her story of her promotion.
To walk in our divine purpose. And one thing we always say, we want our goals to be blessed by God. We don't want a promotion if God didn't give it to us. We don't want it. We want the promotion that God would have us to have. Know why? Because we will be able to walk better when we know that God gave it to us. Walk in confidence. Know that this is beyond a man or a woman. This is coming from up high. And we as Christians, we operate in the spiritual realm. We know it's beyond us. And God is in control of everything. And I just want to encourage someone that may be struggling on their job. You could be struggling and say, hey, this person is blocking me, or this person is not helping me, or you may have been laid off. Keep the hope. God sees it all, and God's going to take care of you. And most of all, God blesses faithfulness. We have to trust God. And that's what we're trying to do, right? We're just trying to wait on God to give us our blessing so we can be a blessing. Okay. And you're welcome, sweetheart. Oh, Kim, I see one of your daughters are there. God bless you, sweetheart. Oh. God bless you. All right, so we're going to move on into our segment here. And, like I said, sometimes we feel that, man is in control of everything. But God allows things to happen in his permissive will. How many people believe that? God allows things to happen to us in his permissive will. God teaches us, God wants to teach us a valuable lesson. That's why sometimes he keeps us where we are, because it's a prereq for us to be elevated. So we have to learn something here. And that's why we should always be saying, what does God want me to learn? Why am I sitting here? Why can't I move to the next level? And then we get into prayer and we get more conscious of where is the lesson in this madness. But believe me, God is always there to teach us something. And we need to stay alert to that. Always know that he has your back. He has your back, right? So take that. Know that there's some prereqs that have to be achieved before we can go to the next level. I talk about keep the faith, but sometimes we have to be faithful in what we're doing, meaning that we are doing our due diligence. And when God does bless us, we want to be found doing what we need to do to go to the next level, because God can come and say, they're not really that serious. Let me go on and pick a person that's dead serious, because if you're looking for someone to promote, you're first going to say, hey, is this person faithful to what they're trying to do? Does this person have the characteristics and have proven themselves to be worthy of what they're trying to do? I don't think God's looking at us like this. Are we ready? Have we done what we needed to do to get where we're trying to go, right? So sometimes we just have to really look at ourselves and say, are we being faithful? Are we being reliable? Are we being dependable? Are we being true and genuine, and without fault? So sometimes we have to do some self-examination to see, are we really where we need to be? So just think about that for a little while, in your quiet time when you are kind of just praying with God of what's going on in your situation. So I want to thank Sister Corley for accepting the invitation for Gold Table Talk. When Gold Table Talk first launched, Kim was one of the first people that I can say congratulated me and joined 2020 Radical Gold Diggers' first Zoom call. And Kim, I just want to thank you for doing that. But God has had her busy since that call. And that call must have been maybe last November, or it could have been October. But when Kim was on the call, she was a great contributor. She shared herself. She shared her current situation. And that's what we do here at Gold Table Talk. We keep it real. We keep it real. And Kim shared with us things that were going on her job at the time that she wasn't too happy about. But what I did hear in her voice, that she was definitely, because she is a woman of God, that she was going to trust God in that situation. Now, when I was listening to her, I was like, oh my goodness, this is a lot. This is heavy. But you know what? She wasn't new to the fight, and she was going to trust God. So I'm going to let Kim share more about what happened on her last job last year, up into when she received the call into her new position. Tell us how you went from the mail room to the boardroom, Sister Corley. Can you tell us that?
Oh my goodness. You know what, Sister Reverend D, you are something else. Because I was just I can't believe you remembered that whole thing.
Yes.
About the boardroom, the bathroom to the boardroom. I was telling my husband, do you think I should say that? And so you said it for me. So I am so happy that you did. I know you all are wondering, what is she talking about? And Reverend D is let me just tell you real quick, just so that you all know this real quick before I even go there. I have been knowing Reverend D and Sister Deborah since we were pre-teens, y'all, pre-teens. And when you remember how your parents are always telling you to be careful who you hang with and surround yourself with positive people, and that, little girls that are going to do something big and be great. I just, at this age that we are, I tell you, I feel blessed that we are still friends after all these years. We used to sit in the park at Compton Park and walking down the streets of the neighborhood, talking about what we wanted to do and our hopes and our dreams. And I just thank God for you, Sister D and Sister Deborah. I tell you, and seeing your beautiful faces is just amazing. And for us, full circle, for me to be able to be here with you tonight, to share a little bit about how good God is simply just amazing. And I'm just so proud of you, Sister D, because God is truly using you in a mighty way to just minister to women across not only Georgia and Florida, but the world. He really is blessing you. And so go forward with his many blessings. So as Reverend D said, literally, and I forgot that it was in November, October, November, the last time that I was talking with you all. And I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't in a good space at that time. And when Sister Reverend D decided that she was gonna do her Zoom, and I jumped on, sometimes, we're afraid sometimes to just share things, but I knew I was with sisters. I knew that I was with a group of women who could empower me to just kind of be honest about what was going on. And so, needless to say, at that moment, I was not in a great place, and I was struggling with the job that I had at the time. I was working for Orange County Public Schools, and I was their grants, their nutrition, education, and I was their community outreach manager. And I had been working there for 3 years, working really, really hard. And you guys know, when you have a job that you enjoy, you work hard, you're going in, you grinding every day, right? So you're thinking, if I just continue to grind and hustle, at some point they got to see my value. At some point they really gonna see the good work that I'm doing, and I'm gonna have my time to be able to be promoted. But you know what? I was reminded that, it wasn't time. And I say that because when I had the experience of being moved after a couple of months of being in another area, my director actually moved me literally into the mailroom. And it was really a mail room. I know people are like, a mail room? Yes, I want you to imagine. This is in a school. I work in a school, but it was an old school. And so they had taken my office that was in another office into literally the mail room. I have no idea to this day why, but that was where my office was. And to be honest with you all, I'm not even going to sit here and try to pretend. I was mad. I was mad. I was mad, mad, mad. But as Reverend D said, I knew there had to be a reason for what was going on, because I just couldn't figure it out. I had been working so hard. I had just the week before, I had did a presentation with the entire department where I had announced that I had raised $2.3 million for the department. And I just knew at that moment I was going to get my, but guess what? I did not. I was basically, unfortunately, that was 2 weeks before I was moved to the mailroom. So I had to sit there as I was sitting in the office, mad, pouting, okay? And I finally, after a week of being in the room and my colleague who was moved into the mailroom with me, we looked at each other and said, God's got something else for us. He's got something else for us. And I looked at her, she sat directly across from me, and I said, God is getting ready to move. I have no idea what's about to happen, but he is getting ready to move. And I kid you not, ladies, when I tell you that when God is ready to move in his time, not in our time, but in his time, we have so many opportunities when we talk to people and we share with people about all the great work that we've done over the course of our career. I know I've done that my whole career. For the last 30 years that I had been working in Orlando, I've been working on the streets, helping people, giving back to people, just doing all kinds of wonderful work. And I get to sit and just kind of think, okay, God's got to have something else for me. I'm not sure what it is, but I know he's got something else for me, but I'm going to continue to work. I'm going to continue to grind and just see what he has in store for me. So as I continue to move on day after day after day in the mailroom, coming into my office, sitting down, doing my work, doing what I needed to do, trying to be, number one, ladies, I needed to be humble, because I think that that's what God was trying to do for me. I really truly believe that God needed me to be humble before he was going to take me where he wanted me to go. So he needed me to sit my little tail right in the mailroom and look around, okay, every day, and sit still and be patient and expect what he was getting ready to do for me. So I continued to work, and then what happened? COVID hit, right? And before we knew it, we were home for a little while, and then I had to go back to the office, still things were moving on, and I still was working, but no sign of promotion at all, no signs of having an opportunity of growing into my department. And you all know, as the years go by, you start to wonder. I don't know about you, but I know about me. I feel sometimes that, I'm hitting my 56th birthday this year. So you feel like, when is my time gonna come? Is it ever gonna come? Is it ever gonna come? Am I gonna continue to work in this job, doing the work that I'm doing for the people that I work for? Or is it gonna be an opportunity for me to do the things that I know that God wants for me, right? So what happens? Before I can't even explain it to you, ladies, other than to say it was truly God's appointed time. It was truly his appointed time. Because if I had gotten the opportunity that I have now, maybe 4 years ago, maybe 13 years ago, maybe I would not have been able to accept it at this moment. Because this is the thing. I graduated from college with my master's degree at 21 years old. I hadn't even reached my 22nd birthday yet. But guess what? God needed me to be in this field for 33 years before he decided that it was the appointed time for me to be promoted. Okay? So he allowed me to do everything that I've done, from sitting on boards teaching at the university, working in the jail. I mean, just doing just all kinds of work. But I had no clue that he was preparing me for something that was going to blow my mind. No idea. If you would have asked me this 6 months ago, 4 months ago, shoot, 2 months ago, I would say absolutely not. So the story goes like this. I really was so upset, and I can tell you exactly when it was. It was actually before we left for Christmas break, because I had a meeting with the HR director of my department, who had become a dear friend of mine. And she pulled me into her office and said to me, Kim, you know, I love you and I respect you, but I think that you need to really start considering about possibly looking for some other opportunities, because I really honestly don't think, she said, and I know I'm not supposed to be telling you this, but she said, I really don't think there's going to be some opportunities here for you, because it just feels as if things are being blocked for you. And she told me, she said, I believe that God has something else for you that might not be here. And I'm going to be honest, I was very hurt, because I said, no, I'm working so hard. How can this be? And she said, Kim, I'm just trying to be honest with you. I just don't feel that you should waste your time. And I was like, wow, if this is coming from the HR director or HR manager, then something must really be, I don't know. So anyway, we left for Christmas break and I left it alone. I cried on my husband's shoulders, my kids' shoulders, everybody. I called my father back home in New York crying, just saying, I don't know what the Lord is trying to tell me to do. Ladies, I kid you not. When I got back from Christmas break, needless to say, I was offered an opportunity to interview for a job. And the job is with an organization called Florida Impact. And this is the crazy thing that is just surreal. I actually worked for the company 5 years ago, before I went to the school system. And I actually worked for them for 8 years. I was actually a Central Florida coordinator. So I was responsible for doing all the work in Central Florida. But I had no idea that I would actually have the opportunity to possibly be interviewed for a position with them as the next leader of the organization. And ladies, wow, the crazy thing that happened is when they called me to ask me if I was interested in throwing my name in the hat for the CEO position, I was dumbfounded. I couldn't believe it, because I was like, how do you, wait a minute, I had to sit back but what can I do other than to say, but God, and how I remember that scripture that talks about, what is that, Jeremiah 2:9, that says, for I know the plans that I have for you. God knew the plans that he had for me 13 years ago, because 13 years ago is when I started working with Florida Impact. 13 years ago. God allowed me to be a part of that organization for years. I first started out as a board member, and then I became an employee of theirs. And then I left and I went to the school system, not even thinking about Florida Impact. Make a long story short, on January the 19th, I was appointed as their new CEO. And it was probably one of the most exciting experiences of my life, because I truly know that only God did that. Only God, because there was no way that I could not have planned it. I could not have done anything. Only God was the one who set up everything from me from 30 years ago, when I moved here from New York to Orlando, to now being the CEO of this organization. And I'm excited because I'm the first African-American. They've had all white women who ran that company. And so I'm the first Black woman to run it. And it has been 4 weeks of just challenging, because, hey, be careful what you ask for. But it is amazing experience to see how God works and truly just prepares you. When you least expect, God is always preparing you for your next level. We might not see it. I had no idea when I talked with Reverend D and the rest of the ladies back in November. I had no idea that 6 months, however many months it is now, that we would be having this conversation, because that wasn't on the radar back then. But guess what? God had it all planned out. He was just preparing me. You know, he knew that maybe I wasn't ready 14 years ago, wasn't ready 5 years ago. Shoot, I might not have been ready a year ago, but he knew now on this day, he knew that I would be ready. And I'm just feeling so blessed, and I give him all the honor and the praise, and just allowing, you know, his presence in my life all the time. And how, Reverend D, you have just been an inspiration to me. I'm telling you, because, you know, when I did join your call, you know, I joined it because I needed some inspiration. I needed some empowerment. I needed my sister to tell me that it was going to be all right. I did, because I was not feeling like it was going to be all right. I was not. But I truly knew that moment when I sat on the call with you all, and I listened to what you said. I listened to what all the ladies said, and how it impacted my heart. I truly left that call feeling like, you know what? I got this. I got this. It is not over for me yet. And I said, God got something else for me. Not sure what it's going to be, but I surely know on February 22nd, 2021, ladies, that God had me all the time. And I'm here to just share with you that he is always in control. And when we least expect, the fact that, not thinking that things are going to turn out the way that they do, over the years, there's so many setbacks that we can have. I mean, with me personally, I'll be transparent with you. Between a divorce, after being married 20 years, you know, after having kids, I have almost, you would say, 2 sets of kids, and I know they listening. I got a 15-year-old, and I got a set of twins that are almost 29. You know, and I was sending one to kindergarten, I was sending 2 to college, and guess what? God still had it. He had it all planned out, right? He had it all planned out. And the cherry on top of the cake was that he sent me a new husband, y'all. He sent me a new husband. So, yes, so I've been married almost 5 years now. But anyway, so that's my story, y'all. I'm just trying to be real with y'all. I'm not trying to be nothing more than who I am, Kim Corley Johnson. You know, just trying to share with y'all to keep your heads held up high, and just know that God's got your back. He's got your back. And I'm going to get my shirt, Denise France. All right, I'm going to get it. All right, ladies, I thank you, and I love all of you for allowing me to just talk just a little bit about the goodness of the Lord. And I'm just so thankful for all of you just listening to my story. And I think I've shared this. This is the first time I've shared it. And I've been on the job now a couple of weeks. So I appreciate you listening to me. And not sure if you guys, anybody have anything they'd like to say or any questions?
I want everybody to take their phone off mute and give Kim a hand of praise. I want her to don't get no better than that. It don't get no better than that. I mean, when God shows up and shows out the way he did in your life. Oh my God. Oh my God. And you know what? It's just what we need to hear. Because we're all on our unique journeys. We're all at our spaces. And we're just wondering, well, what's God going to do next? Well, what's God going to do? You know, and Kim, you told that story so wonderfully. And, you know, I just hope that the ladies were inspired to hold on. We're going to hit some bumps, but don't get thrown out of the car, okay?
Yes.
Because God got us. Now, I'm going to stop there and open the floor up. And does anyone have something that they would like to say to Kim? and something that may have been inspiring, or anything they would like to contribute to this awesome testimony.
This is Lisa. I would like to say what a blessing for you to come on here and share that story with us. I was over here getting chills and just having goosebumps, and I'm about to have a shout moment in my chair by myself. Just listening to it, it really is amazing, and God is good and truly blessed you. I've had some situations in my life where I knew it was nothing but God. The fact that I'm sitting in my house right now was nothing but God. But when it comes to promotion specifically, for the first time in my life, I'm in a job where I have not been promoted. My title's been changed. I've had a lateral move, but I have not had a promotion. And I've been in this company now, it'll be 7 years coming April. In my life, I've never been at a job more than 3 to 6 months without being promoted or being offered a job where I might turn it down. So this is new for me. And I'm like, okay, God, what's going on? What's going on? Your story just really just re-inspired me and reinvigorated me to just hang in there and keep coming. So you just confirmed for me that my time is coming.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
I thank you.
Yes, it is.
Yes, Kim, I want to thank you too for sharing. It's just a blessing. I just want to go shouting through the house. I'm just so happy for you. And I know you deserve it. I know you.
Great. It's been a great 4 weeks so far, ladies. Great 4 weeks.
So Kim, when you say that you're the president and CEO, you saying you're the boss.
I'm the boss. Yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna share this with you all, ladies. I've had some great jobs in my career. The Lord has blessed me, but you all know as women sometimes, and you started to mention a little bit about women and what happens in the workforce with women, but a lot of times we sometimes take the back seat, and especially when you have children or when you have other responsibilities. So in my career, I've been a mid-manager. I'm just going to be honest with you. I've been right there. I've been there. My directors know that I can do the job, so they've given me all kinds of responsibilities. So I always was a girl that had 10 jobs because they know I can handle it. But I never got paid the money, never had the title. I was always just right there. And I just felt like there was this time of in my life at 55 years old, I just felt like enough of just taking, enough of just being that mid-manager. I felt like it was my time to try. So I was scared. I'm gonna be honest. My kids and my husband, they encouraged me. They said, "Mommy, why would you not think that you could run this company?" And I just felt like, I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, I'm really good at what I do. I'm really good in the community. I'm good at doing, but to run a company, that just overwhelmed me. But I had to stop, and I had to think that God had something. He had to have something in store for me, for me to even get the phone call. So I felt like, I always felt like, are you sure y'all got the real Kim Johnson? Y'all. So when they started interviewing me, and I had to go through 4 interviews, y'all, 4 interviews. And each time I got to the next level, I would look at myself in the mirror and say, Lord, have mercy. Is this really going to happen? Because I truly felt like there were so many other people that would be more qualified than me. Because I felt like, you know what? I've had a wonderful career. I've worked with great companies, but I just felt like being a president and a CEO was far-fetched. It was far-fetched. But guess what? It was my heart's desire. It was something I used to whisper to myself when I went to sleep at night.
There you go.
That's what I wanted to do. So guess what? I might not have verbally said it, but guess who heard? God heard that. He heard it. He heard it. And he whispered to me and told me, don't you dare listen to that self-doubt. Don't you dare lack self-compassion for yourself. You can do it. So before I knew it, by that third interview, I started sitting up a little bit higher and higher in my chair. And I started to feel, I said, this is something or something. And I'm going to tell you, by that 4th interview, it wasn't nothing they could do with me. Because by then I was like, If y'all don't give me the job, y'all got problems, you know? And they were looking for somebody who was passionate, somebody who was authentic, and somebody who was real, somebody who could, take the company to the next level, but they needed somebody like me. And I knew what that meant. That meant somebody who I knew that God had prepared for this job. And so it's funny, sometimes it's hard for me to even say when I meet people, when they say, okay, what's your title? Because you guys know, when you are as I've worked in the community, you know, as a coordinator or manager, which are great jobs, you know, people don't move as quickly as they normally do. When you and I had like 5 people above me. It just seemed like it was always, but now the opportunities for me to get calls and meetings with people who I normally not had in the past. So it's a great, it's funny for me because sometimes I have to say, my daughter said to me, Mommy, it's okay if you say President CEO, you know that, right? It's okay. So I'm gonna be honest, I'm getting used to it, Reverend D. I'm getting used to it. I'm getting used to being the boss. You know, it's all a new experience for me. My staff is getting used to me because they're not used to having a Black woman as a boss. But we're all in this together, and God has truly been good to me.
Well, there's 2 people that want to say something to you. You know, I think that was Desi that raised a hand, and then that was Monique. So Desi, you can go on, and then Monique next, please.
I just want to say I'm re-energized for 2 reasons. And one, a week before I had my stroke, I was promoted. So I got a promotion with my company, and then I had my stroke. So I went from, you know, being the front line to getting a promotion and being in charge of millions of dollars worth of inventory in cannabis. So I was in heaven. I was in heaven. I had my stroke. But to hear your story, I know God has another plan for me.
He does.
And also today, I just finished my FAFSA, and I just finished registering for college. So I'm going back to school. I start on the 27th. So I'm re-energized, and whatever God has planned for me in the future, I'm preparing myself for it. So thank you.
Amen. Congratulations, Des. Congratulations. Where God placed you as President CEO is just not for any company. It is for a company that is about helping others. Can you just tell us what type of company Impact is and what it does? Because I think that's significant to why God chose you.
Right. Well,
that was my question.
Oh, okay. Yes,
Same
all right.
question.
Yes, Florida Impact is an anti-hunger organization that's dedicated to mobilizing communities to be able to have community organizations, schools, churches, nonprofits access all the state, federal, and local dollars that there is to feed hungry children in our community. So we're dedicated to ending childhood hunger. We're dedicated to expanding SNAP.
Beautiful.
We're dedicated to trying to help provide resources to people in the community who are struggling to make ends meet, who are struggling with housing issues.
Praise God.
We advocate. We advocate for the underserved community across the state of Florida. So we actually have staff across the state of Florida that are working in different communities, doing different projects and different opportunities where they partner with churches and other community groups and schools to just make sure that children and families and seniors have access to food.
Awesome.
I mean, that is absolutely beautiful. What I'm trying to say, they needed an angel for a job like that.
They found an angel. Yeah.
Just knowing you, Kim, I mean, I know that you're going to do whatever far exceed the expectations of where Impact can go, because I know that's how you are. I know that God is going to give you so much to take that boat across that ocean. And I'm just so excited for you because I know it's just perfect. I know it's divine order and it's perfect. Your one of your daughters wanted to speak. Go ahead, Robin.
Hello, everyone. This is Renee.
Oh,
This
Renee.
Is,
Okay.
no, it's okay. This is Robin. Hi.
Okay.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Bless you.
I have a question for Kim Johnson. Hello, Kim. I'm wondering, so that waiting period, when you're waiting on that blessing and you get on Facebook and everyone's getting a new job, and your brother was blessed with an amazing opportunity before you got that blessing. What is that waiting period like? And what did you do to hold on to that faith in that moment when you wanted to give up and you wanted to say, I don't know what I'm doing, but you held on that faith and you congratulated people. So what was that waiting period like for you? Can you give us?
I can. Thank you, Ms. Moab, for asking that question. Yes, that waiting period was, you know what? When you see everybody getting blessed, right? And we're supposed to celebrate. I'm not sure. Reverend D could tell us what that scripture is, but we are supposed to celebrate when we see people, wonderful things happen to them, because we know if we can celebrate with them during that time, then we know that God is truly gonna allow us to have our opportunity to be able to celebrate. So I waited patiently. I can't tell you, I did have a few tears and I was frustrated at times, but I knew I had to hold on and just hang in there and be happy while you see you guys know, you see everybody on Facebook, you see everybody doing this and everybody doing that. And yeah, okay, we're happy for you. But deep down inside, you thinking, Lord, you singing, when is my change gonna come? Right? When is it gonna come? And I tell you, you just hold on. It was just the faith that I had in God, and just praying that I had to just hold on and hold on. You guys know that song, Hang On, right? That's what I truly had to do. I had to believe, because as Christians, that's what we're supposed to do. We can't give up. Even when it gets hard, we gotta keep hanging on. So that's what I did, little Miss Mowat. I hung in there, and I waited for my change to come. I did. And I know you all, my children were there with me when I was going through it, and they were my biggest supporters and cheerleaders when I was able to announce that I got the position, and they cried, you know, because they knew how much mommy had wanted the opportunity, and they were just truly, truly, truly happy for me.
Beautiful. Well said. And thank you, Renee, for that question, because I know that answer blessed a lot of people on this call right now.